Well, how about y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. We're up here at the goat pen right now. These girls are going back home to the home farm in about 3 days. So I need to start tricking them into going into this little barn over here where I've got a catch pen set up. So we're gonna give them a little bit of grain real quick. Haven't been feeding grain, but they still know what the bucket is. They're gonna get a little bit today just to get them used to going in there. And hopefully in 3 days, when it's time to load them up, it goes nice and easily. Of course, I don't have the trailer today. Could have caught all of them. Probably won't go that easy in a couple days. So if you can see behind me, the grass is starting to green up a little bit. The goats have been up here about a week and a half now, and there's just really not much to eat out here. We started to get some rain about the time they got out here, so I'm not gonna push it any farther. We're gonna go ahead and get these goats off of this fescue. Hopefully we can get some growth this fall, and we'll have something for them to munch on throughout the winter. I have been feeding a little bit of hay up here, about 2 square bales every afternoon up here, just to kind of get them by a little bit, because like I said, there's not a whole lot out here right now. We've gotten, believe it or not, down the road 5 miles is where our home farm is, and we've gotten a whole lot more rain down there. The grass looks a lot better down there, but we need to utilize this. I thought about holding them off, keep them at the farm, rotate them a little bit more around, but I decided to go ahead and bring them up here, let them graze a little bit, move them out. Hopefully we can continue to get some rain and some good weather. Today's actually 90 degrees. It's been super nice the past couple weeks. It's only been about 80, 85 degrees every day for the past 2 weeks. But today hit 90. Doesn't feel that bad. The humidity's not here. Let's throw out some square bales real quick, get these guys fed up. Then we're gonna go back to the farm and make sure all the animals are good down there. And then we're gonna start our pig pen project. Most part, everybody's looking good up here. Everybody looks nice and healthy, and pretty happy with everybody. Still got some stragglers down there in the barn, but just giving them a little bit of hay to kind of get them by until we get them home in about 2 to 3 days. Well, I got everything fed up. We got these 2 goats right here. I brought them back home from up the road a couple days ago. This doe's just staying kind of wormy, along with this little steer goat. Brought them home, give them a little extra grain. Before we bring the rest of the herd, I need to take that doe to the sale. She's been wormy for the past couple months, really. And she's definitely on the coal list, but I'm gonna hang her on to her. See if I can put some weight back on her before I take her to sale barn, so I can at least make a little bit of profit off of her. Sirloin is over here underneath the barn. The rabbits are good, everybody's good. Let's go up to the pigs, get them fed, and start working on their new pen. So since the last time y'all saw these guys, we've made a couple little bit of advancements. They can now go outside the barn. We set up our Premier 1 fence about 2 days ago. It's been working good. There's a lot of shocks at first, but they are getting used to it. They don't really test it too much anymore. Got this little area right here. I burnt this brush pile right here the other day, so in the next day or so, we're gonna go ahead and extend this fence on out to our perimeter fence. I know they can't go through this wire right here. I saw a couple of them test it the other day and they couldn't make it through. So it's good to go. We're gonna go ahead and keep moving these guys towards the direction of putting them on pasture. This will be their first step with this Premier 1 netting. And then our new pig pens are gonna be right here behind where they are. It'll be our 5 sections throughout these woods for these pigs. The other pigs, they're right here. They've gotten our catch pen all torn up, but that's fine. Not really too worried about growing grass in here. We're gonna just giving them a little bit more space. Honestly, with these guys, I still haven't decided exactly what I want to do as far as how I'm gonna raise them. Sure, these guys right here are gonna be in the woods or on the pasture. We still need to sell about 5 of these. I'm kind of backed off of selling them real quick. I kind of want to wait maybe a couple weeks, make sure everybody's gonna be healthy. They did come from a sale barn. I'm not a big fan of sale barn animals. There always could be something they picked up from there. So we want to make sure everybody stays healthy first, and then we'll decide who we're going to keep and who we're going to get rid of. As far as these guys go, I've got this barn that's got 3 sides 6 foot tall, and I've got a gate. And what I thought about doing is mounting some tin to the front of this gate, raising these pigs right here inside this barn, and over time I'll continue to add old hay, some wood chips or something like that, let the pigs stir it up and create a compost essentially. As long as we're adding some kind of carbon such as grass, wood chips or something like that, it's not going to stay wet and stinking all the time. There's several guys on YouTube that I've actually watched that kind of did this model, create a lot of compost this way, basically overwintering these pigs in this barn. Next spring we'll clean that out, put it on the garden, and then we'll have our barn free for the goats during kidding season. For as the goats during the winter, we do have these 2 lean-tos. I think that'd be plenty enough for them. So it's just something I'm toying around with. If worse comes to worse and we needed the barn, we can move the pigs out. So just something I'm thinking about. Well, the jury's still out on that, but we're about to get everybody fed up here. I've got this self-feeder set up for the little pigs, and then I just still have a pan for these bigger ones. I've got another self-feeder I need to pull out and do some work to, but we're just gonna give them some feed real quick. I've got some scraps from the house. Me and Maddie made some canned tomatoes last night, so I've got some scraps from that. We're gonna treat these 3 right here with. I've been kind of rotating who gets the scraps every afternoon. What you see me sprinkling in their feed is just a safeguard dewormer for all types of livestock. You can just kind of mix it in their feed. Just a little bit of something to help these guys out if they do have some worms. Don't know where they came from, don't know the backstory on them for the cell barn. So we're just gonna go ahead and deworm them. I also put cord in their water to kind of control some coccidia issues. These guys have been shuffled around to the cell barn and to here, new environment, so they're kind of stressed. I want to make sure they get off to a good start. And also I burned that burn pile the other day, and I'm taking anything that's left over that's kind of charred, throwing it in this pig pen. Charcoal is a natural dewormer for pigs, so something just kind of helping out with. Hopefully it'll work, and hopefully these guys stay pretty healthy. I have noticed a little bit of runny butts on those little ones, so that's what kind of triggered me to go ahead and put cord in the water, just to cover our bases. We want these guys to get off to a good start. So where we left off on this project several videos ago is we flagged out how wide our pens are going to be. They're right at 27 foot a piece across the front, a little bit narrower in the back, and they're about 50 foot long. Hopefully this is going to hold 10 pigs for 5 to 10 days is my goal. We're going to rotate these pigs through here, let them disturb the ground a little bit. Right before we move, we're going to throw some grass seed, and hopefully those pigs can kind of turn that in and hopefully we're going to start cutting out some of this underbrush, open up the canopy just a little bit. We're not going to cut any of these mature oaks out, but we're just going to let some sunlight in here, and hopefully we can get some shade loving grasses growing, some perennials that are going to come back that's going to be beneficial for the pigs and for the goats. So that's what we're doing. I've got my magic bucket full of junk. This is how I carry everything, is just in a bucket. I've got a reel with some poly rope on it. We're just going to be using this as our straight line today while we're driving some T-post. I've got some loppers, got a couple limbs that I need to move. Got some, I doubt we're going to get all this today, but I've got some tighteners already put on, some insulators that's going to go around the T-post, and also I've just got some regular, let's see if I can find one, some wire just around the insulator. So on this front side, on our lines going from this post to say this post, we're going to have a tensioner on this side, and then just the insulator on that side. We're going to have 2 strands of wire running across, and I've kind of changed it up a little bit since the last time we talked about this. This is not going to be the front of our pen. Actually, we're actually going to come out another 6 foot and put another T-post. So we're going to be running straight through here with our fence. It'll stop here, and then I'll have a wood gate that I'll build right here, and essentially we're going to have some wire that we can pull across here. So if I've got pigs all the way on the end and I need to bring them to the barn to do something with them, load them up or something like that, I can create a lane all the way back. We'll have a 6 foot lane that we can set up very quickly all the way down the front of this pen. So that's kind of where my mind is on this right now. It's liable to change again, but just what we're gonna do. Also, I've got some T-post insulators. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna get to the wire today. My main goal is to start on the T-post and get a good bit in. First step of this is I'm gonna go all the way to the end to our last post. We're gonna go ahead and drive a T-post in there, and then I will stretch my poly wire from that post all the way back to this wood post here, and that'll give us a straight line for these posts, and then we can measure off our other section and get it ready to go as well. First post of the project, I'm gonna face it this way because eventually this post will have some tension pulling it that way. This bar, or flat bar that'll be in the ground, will keep it from pulling that way. And also there's little, I don't know what you call them on the T-post, there's little knobs that'll keep my wire from going up and down. So whenever I put my insulator on here, I can tighten it in between this, and it's not going to be able to slide up and down. At least that's my thought. From here, we're just going to run our poly wire all the way down, tighten it up so we have a nice straight line. I know it's just for pigs, but I like for things to be straight. So I've got my post in. You can see them going straight through there where those flags are. I went ahead and ran my string for our front fence. So this will be the lane that I was talking about a minute ago. So let's throw these in so you can see what it looks like. And that might be all we get done this afternoon. I've got several things on the to-do list at the house. So let's throw these posts in and see what it looks like. first step of our new pig pen project. We've got the front post put in. Now all we need to do, and probably our next video, is we're gonna start running our posts going this way. We've got to put one on the back fence where our perimeter fence is to pull from, and then we're probably gonna put 2 posts in between these ends and our perimeter fence to hold that wire tight. And then after that, it's gonna be about time to start running some wire. Before we run all the wire though, it's gonna be several videos. We're gonna go ahead and clean up all these sticks and stuff that's laying in the ground, and we're gonna go ahead and burn those just so there's not potential of sticks getting put against our new wire right away. Need to clean up, but it's gonna be a work in progress over the next couple weeks. I wanna get this pen right here done so I can go ahead and get the pigs started going, and at that point I can just work that way. And at that point I can just work that way as the pigs move. You know, I don't have to get all this done before they start getting into this rotation. But that's gonna be it for this video. We've got all the animals taken care of. The goats look good. They're coming home in 2 to 3 days. The pigs are starting to get trained to being on pasture. Everything's looking good here around the farm. Trying to get a couple projects done before winter. I want to get all this done for sure. But I forgot my water down at the shed, so I'm gonna go get me some water. Gonna head to the house, cook some supper, and hang out with my beautiful wife, Maddie. So I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment, and we'll see y'all on the next one.